Phone calls are terrifying. I don't care what anybody says, because why are you suddenly demanding my full attention with no preparation? At least texting gives me time to think. A phone call feels like a surprise boss battle. And the worst part? The panic starts before you even answer. Your phone rings once and suddenly your entire body enters survival mode. Heart racing, brain loading, hands sweating, and somehow, even if it's your own friend calling, you still stare at the phone like it's a bomb. People who hate phone calls never answer immediately. Never. The phone rings and now you're just staring at it, watching it vibrate across the table like, please stop. And instead of answering, you start creating theories. Why are they calling? Did something happen? Could this have been a text? 99% of phone calls could have been one message. One. But no. People want to have a live podcast episode with you for no reason. And then after missing the call, you immediately become a detective. Checking messages, notifications, social media, the weather somehow, trying to figure out what they wanted. Then they text, call me. No, that doesn't help. Now it sounds serious. Preparing for a phone call. People think answering the phone is simple. No, it's not. There's preparation involved. You got to mentally rehearse. Okay, if they say this, I say this. You start practicing basic greetings like you've never spoken English before. Hello? Hey. Yo, suddenly none of them sound natural anymore. And when you finally answer, you forget how humans talk. Hello? Hey, bro, what's up? Good. Good. That's the best response my brain could produce. And don't even get me started on video calls. A video call feels illegal. Now I gotta look presentable, make eye contact, react in real time, and see myself accidentally the whole time? Absolutely not. The fear of random calls, the scariest calls are unexpected ones, especially from numbers you don't know. Unknown numbers instantly make life feel like a side quest. Your brain immediately jumps to debt collectors, bad news, government agencies, your school somehow. Meanwhile, it's just, hello, sir, would you like new internet? No. And parents are the worst with phone calls because parents don't text. They call instantly. And if you miss it, now you're stressed because why did they call twice? Now your imagination starts producing movie scenarios. You call back terrified and they say, oh, nothing. I just wanted to ask if you ate. Bro, you almost sent me into cardiac arrest listening to the phone ring. One thing about people who hate calls, we let the phone ring all the way through, just hoping the problem solves itself. And the pressure gets worse every second. Ring 1, maybe they'll hang up. Ring 5, oh, they're serious. Ring 10, please give up. Then the silence after the missed call feels peaceful for like 3 seconds until the phone starts ringing again. Now it's personal. The why didn't you answer question. And then comes the question everybody hates. Why didn't you answer? How do you even explain this without sounding insane? I don't know. My soul just rejected the call because it's never personal. I could love you dearly and still stare at your call like, yeah, I'll deal with this emotionally later. Sometimes I genuinely want to answer, but my body says no. Phone anxiety is crazy because nothing dangerous is actually happening, but your brain acts like you're being hunted. Talking on the phone is awkward. Phone conversations are so awkward sometimes, especially when both people run out of things to say. Now you're both just breathing into the microphone. So yeah. And somehow ending phone calls is harder than the conversation itself because nobody knows how to leave naturally. All right, okay, yeah, bye. Okay, bye, bye. Why are we still here? Texting is superior. Texting is elite. You can think before replying, avoid awkward silence, disappear for 20 minutes to think, send memes instead of emotions. Phone calls demand instant responses. And people who call randomly always say, this'll be quick. Lies. Now suddenly you've been trapped in conversation for 46 minutes, listening to a story about somebody you've never met. And the whole time you're just holding the phone like, damn, that's crazy. Wow, no way. Phone call survival phrases. The worst possible moment phone calls always happen at the worst times. The second you finally relax, ring ring. You could be eating, gaming, showering, mentally recovering from life, and suddenly somebody needs you immediately. And somehow the ringtone becomes louder when you're anxious. It starts sounding like an emergency alarm. At that point, I don't even decline the call. I just let destiny decide. But honestly, People who hate phone calls usually aren't trying to be rude. Most of us are just overthinkers, socially awkward, mentally unprepared, or emotionally low battery 24/7. And somehow, even after avoiding the call for 3 hours, we still end up calling back eventually, after rehearsing the conversation 17 times first. If this video felt painfully relatable, subscribe and turn on notifications, because apparently we're all struggling together. And comment the longest amount of time you've ignored a phone call before calling back. See y'all on the next video.